Hi everyone, and sorry for this Tano, the internet's busiest music nerd here, and it's time for a review of the new John Frusciante album, Enclosure. John Frusciante, accomplished solo artist, guitarist, multi-instrumentalist, collaborator with many, but I'm sure you know him best through his work with the Red Hot Chili Peppers, being a key element in some of the band's most celebrated albums to date. Now, last time I caught up with John, it was through an album review for a record that he did that I didn't like at all, not even a little. Nope. PBX, Funicular Intaglio Zone, easily one of John's most uncommercial and unconventional records ever. Really lo-fi recording on this thing, a mess of different ideas and instruments on these songs and melodic and noise layers, all presented in this really unorganized way as if it were like an appealing aesthetic for the entire record. Some really distorted breakbeats on this thing, some very thin synthesizers and guitars, and some truly awful singing on some of these songs too. This record was so out of scope with John's past major successes like The Will to Death and Curtains and Empyrean that I, like I'm sure a few others, assumed that this was going to be kind of a one-off that John would never really return to. But even with a very different title and presentation in terms of the cover art anyway, we're essentially getting a redo of the entire aesthetic that John was shooting for on PBX. You know, maybe the recording isn't quite so distorted and isn't quite as lo-fi sometimes. I mean, the mixing is still pretty wonky. And there aren't really any moments on this record that sort of hit me like I'm listening to like a demo of a Nine Inch Nails song per se, but you're still getting a lot of oddly mixed and just sonically misplaced drum machine beats and break beats, just very speedy, busy break beats. And there are some experimental sounds on this record that are slightly harsh or dissonant, but it's not like they venture so far into the unknown that any of it feels incredibly new to me, especially since I've given John's PBX a listen. If this record, like John's last record, is any kind of adventure, it's really just a personal one. And once again, on this new album, the singing, I can barely stand it. Like on the song Sleep. How is the singing on this song good? Seriously. And as far as the backing instrumentation, the drum beats still sound really out of place. They still sound really gaudy. And they sound cheap too. I feel like we're being passed demos once again on this record, along with the song Run, and along with the song Fanfare 2, which is sort of a more accessible, straightforward synth pop ballad on this thing, which once again kind of mirrors that whole PBX formula, because that record, while it was weird and unpleasant and just really ham-fisted and clumsy and not really in control of itself, it had a few moments in it that like, oh, wow, this is pretty poppy in comparison to everything else here that I don't like at all. Occasionally with the instrumentals on this record, John does manage to pull together some guitars and synths and drums that create a moody atmosphere, like with the song Shining Desert, which also has these very eerie vocal harmonies. Or there's the song Stage, where John delivers some epic vocal harmonies against all these weeping guitar leads, and there is a great guitar solo at the finish that is equally melodic and noisy, really intense and passionate. If only John were able to execute at this same level on this record and his last record when it comes to his vocals and the recording and nearly everything else. You know, I could go through naming a lot of the tracks on this record, picking out just simple little morsels of melody or just some kind of instrumental idea that appeals to me, but that's pretty much what I do with every song on here, you know? When I listen to a song, I want to enjoy the song from top to bottom, from the recording to the way the instrumentals sound, to the way everything is being performed, from the execution of the guitars to the drums to the proficiency of the vocals. But once again, I just feel like I'm in a PBX position and I'm just being forced to pick through baskets of bruised fruit. You know, this record is again, just like a sequel to that one in terms of the quality of the songs and the quality of the sounds. This is just PBX all over again. It's no better, it's no worse. I'm feeling a decent to strong 2 on this thing. Transition, if you've given this record a listen, what did you think of it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Why? What do you think I should review next? And that's it. Anthony Fantano, Enclosure, forever.